Coming up, wild weather. Parts of the country have been experiencing record drought conditions. This as a bomb cyclone hits Northern California and the Pacific Northwest. We have details. Then, let's talk turkey, the history of Thanksgiving dinner explained. Plus, stunning sky. A spectacular supermoon wowed sky watchers around the world. It's our picture of the week. Plus, stepping out. These rare tiger cubs just made their public debut.
Our female cub is Amalia, and our male cub is Andre. They're also extremely brave, and so that is what their names mean, and they are Russian names that they are living up to.
And calling all you Swifties, our Kids Edition correspondent Ella catches us up on all things Taylor Swift as the pop star's Eras tour begins to wrap up. So what's next?
Anything Swifties like me can look forward to over the holiday season, maybe a new album or a Taylor's version release.
So we're always clowning every show for Taylor to make a surprise announcement. I have always thought that Reputation might be announced on the last night or near the very end just because it's what everyone is so excited to see. Taylor does love to tease or hint at things.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. It's great to be with you. We have an awesome lineup ahead, including some packing tips if you're flying to Grandma's house this Thanksgiving. Plus, we'll tell you about one program that is inspiring kids to get moving.
What I like mostly about it is that you get a chance just to have fun and just run. And like it just takes away all the things that's going around you and just give you like some me time basically.
But let's begin with the weather. The East Coast is finally getting some much needed rain as many areas have been experiencing a record dry spell lately. You've probably heard the word drought in the news a lot. Well, did you know that a drought is an extended period of unusually dry weather with a lack of rain? The drought is having an impact on all sorts of things, including critical water supplies. Our friend Amalia was at one location in New Jersey earlier this week.
Hey there, Lester. Well, these bone-dry conditions are shrinking important water supplies like here at the Manasquan Reservoir in New Jersey. The only reason why I can walk on this sandy bottom right now is because it's at just about half of its 4 billion gallon capacity. So you can see the drought impacts firsthand here. It's caused concern for officials across the Northeast region. Some cities are experiencing their driest autumn seasons on record. Back to you.
Emily, thanks. Meteorologists say the rain in New Jersey and the Northeast will be beneficial, but will not end the drought. And this comes as a bomb cyclone is soaking Northern California and the Pacific Northwest. We know bomb cyclone can sound very scary, even to me. Well, it's a term that scientists use to describe a process that meteorologists usually call bombogenesis, a storm system that explodes in strength. Our good friend meteorologist Dylan Dreyer explains what's happening.
We've got this bomb cyclone. When a center of a storm drops 24 millibars in 24 hours, it's called bombogenesis, and it creates this bomb cyclone. This one dropped 66 millibars, so it's very intense. So intense that as it wraps around this area of low pressure, it draws in this atmospheric river of moisture. This is basically just moisture coming in off the Pacific Ocean, and it dumps it this time around across Northern California and southwestern Oregon. Now, if we were to put this on a scale, we would call this, I'd say, extreme to exceptional. We are going to see several inches of rain, perhaps even feet of rain in some areas, up to 15 inches expected along the coast. Then as far as the mountains are concerned, we could see about 2 to 3 feet of snow in the higher elevations. So there's a lot going on.
All right, Dylan, thanks so much. Meantime, millions of people are expected to travel over the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. And kids, if you and your families plan on getting on an airplane in the coming days, the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA for short, has a few do's and don'ts when it comes to packing. The TSA says solid foods like turkey, stuffing, fresh fruit and vegetables, along with pie and baked goods, can be put in your carry-on bag. But other food items like gravy, cranberry sauces, jam, and preserves that are over 3.4 ounces, well, those have to be packed in a checked bag since they're considered liquids and gels. So if you plan on baking cookies for Grandma, maybe bake a few extras because you can take them on the plane with you and you may get hungry. The TSA also advises travelers to arrive at the airport a bit early. Well, speaking of Thanksgiving, it got us thinking, why do we eat foods like turkey and mashed potatoes and pie every year on this holiday? Our friend Ellison Barber has the details on the history of the Thanksgiving plate.
From turkey and ham to mashed potatoes and stuffing, and don't forget the pumpkin pie. These Thanksgiving foods are a tradition in homes all across America. But have you ever wondered why so many families eat those dishes every year? You might be surprised to learn that the very first Thanksgiving plate in 1621 looked a lot different from what we eat today.
There might have been turkey, there might have been cranberries, but we know from period accounts that they had done a lot of hunting of waterfowl, so animals like ducks and geese, so that was probably their roast duck was on the first Thanksgiving table. They also had a lot of fish, probably some shellfish, and then the Wampanoag people who came also brought venison.
Foods like potatoes, sweet potatoes, and apple pie were also off the menu. Potatoes and apples hadn't made their way to America yet. In fact, it took about 2 centuries for Thanksgiving to be celebrated nationwide in the United States. In 1789, President George Washington issued a proclamation recognizing Thanksgiving as a holiday to be celebrated on November 26th. It wasn't until the 1800s when a woman petitioned presidents to declare it a national holiday.
Sarah Giuseppe Hale was a New England writer and author, and she advocated for a national holiday for about 17 years before she finally convinced Abraham Lincoln in 1863, which was the middle of the Civil War, to declare a national holiday of Thanksgiving.
Once President Lincoln passed the Thanksgiving Proclamation in 1863, the modern Thanksgiving dinner began to take shape. Sarah Josepha Hale was also the first to write about the Thanksgiving meal. In her novel Northwood, she described roast turkey, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, and, quote, pies of every description.
A lot of the foods that we consider Thanksgiving traditions are native to New England. So turkeys, corn was developed by indigenous people there, although it's native to Mexico. Squash, cranberries, especially, all of those things that we, pumpkin or pumpkin pie that we kind of associate with Thanksgiving. It's really a truly American holiday, I think, because it reflects a lot of foods that were developed by Native people in North and South America.
And even though many of these foods are still a tradition to this day, not every family eats turkey on Thanksgiving. It's up to you and your family to decide what winds up on your table.
For people who do celebrate Thanksgiving, I think it really represents a way for family to come together and share a meal and connect with each other, even if they live far away, even if they haven't seen each other in a long time.
A time to celebrate your own family's traditions, culture, and food, and to pause to be thankful for everything you have.
Ellison, thanks very much for that. And kids, we want to hear from you. So parents, grab your phones and send a video to the email address on the screen of your children telling us what they are thankful for this holiday season. And we will feature them next week on the program. Okay, now for our picture of the week. Just days ago, the last supermoon of this year lit up the night sky across the country and around the world, much to the delight of sky watchers. These spectacular full moons can appear slightly larger due to the moon's proximity to the Earth during the full phase. November's Beaver Moon was the last of the 4 consecutive supermoons of 2024. Those images are incredibly stunning. Okay, time for our pop quiz. The question this week, which of the following is a nickname for a puffin? A sea penguin, B, a sea parrot, or C, clown of the sea? We'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Okay, time's up. If you guess sea parrot or clown of the sea, both are correct. puffins spend most of their time out at sea resting on waves when they are not swimming. Puffins have a large parrot-like beak. The puffin's beak changes color during the year. In winter, their beak has a kind of a dull gray color, but it grows into a vibrant orange come springtime. All right, let's head now to Minnesota, where a pair of rare tiger cubs recently made their public debut at one zoo. Let's get details from our friend Ann Thompson.
These two Amur tiger cubs are turning heads at the Minnesota Zoo. Born in May, the cubs just recently made their public debut and have reached an important milestone.
In human care, this is the time that they complete their vaccinations as cubs, and so that provides them with a level of safety should they be exposed to other wildlife that might carry diseases that they could potentially get and would cause harm to their health. And in the wild, it's also a time when the mother feels comfortable allowing the cubs to explore more area and advancing that territory.
Their names have a unique meaning.
Our female cub is Amalia, and our male cub is Andre. They're also extremely brave, and so that is what their names mean, and they are Russian names that they are living up to. They are certainly very courageous cubs, the most brave cubs that Dari has had so far.
The cubs will stay with their mom, Dari, for a while longer.
So in the wild, mom would be looking to encourage the male cubs to venture out and start to seek their own territory at about 18 months of age. So that is actually when we separate the males from the females here, so both from their sisters and from mom. So what that looks like is Andre, as he gets about 15 months old, he'll start to spend a few hours by himself or interacting with other tigers through fence lines that are not his mom or his sister to encourage positive relationships with other tigers. And then we just continue to increase that time until they're fully separated at 18 months. And then the same happens with the female cub Amalia once she reaches 2 years of age.
The zoo says the cubs are growing week by week and staying healthy.
They also are nursing off of mom. So they are still drinking milk and they'll continue to do so. Typically it's about 6 months where it starts to fade.
Did you know Amur tigers have a different coat and an entirely separate natural habitat from other tiger subspecies?
So they develop extremely thick winter coats, much thicker than the Sumatran tigers and the Malayan tigers. In addition to that, they have extremely long ruff along their face, but it's not quite as pronounced as what people might see with the Sumatran tigers. But their striping pattern varies significantly between subspecies. And so when you look at an Amur tiger, they're going to have less stripes, and they're also going to be spread out a little bit further. And this is a great example of an adaptation that is developed to help them camouflage in their environment.
Amur tigers are one of the largest cats in the world. Adult males can weigh more than 600 pounds.
You can tell our two cubs apart by a feature just above their right eye. So every stripe pattern is unique to the tiger itself.
Amur tigers are considered endangered and threatened by things like habitat loss in the wild.
Currently in the wild, there's about an estimated 400 to 500 Amur tigers in the native regions of eastern Russia and northern China. When the populations are endangered, such as the Amur tigers, it's so important to have that reserve because without it, they could go extinct.
These births helping ensure the future of Amur tigers.
And thanks so much. In this week's Kids Spotlight, it's Taylor time. The Grammy Award-winning superstar is wrapping up her hugely popular Eras Tour next month. And this has fans asking, well, what's next? Our Kids Edition correspondent Ella caught up with Taylor Swift reporter Brian West to find out all the very latest about the pop star and what Swifties can expect.
Brian, the Eras Tour is coming to an end soon. How long has this tour been going on for?
This tour has been going on for 2 years. She has spanned the globe, starting in North America, heading down to South America, going to Asia, Australia, and then Europe before returning back to the States and Canada. So it has been 149 concerts when all is said and done, and about 10 million tickets. The Eras Tour has been to 5 different continents: North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Although it would be pretty exciting to see Taylor perform in the Arctic at Antarctica too.
That's almost all of them. Wow.
Almost all of them.
I plan on going to one of the last shows in Toronto. What should I know before I go?
If you're going to the Eras Tour, you should plan out your outfit and what you're gonna wear. You have so many different options. You can either go really niche. I have seen some people dress up as a willow tree, or they've dressed up as a vending machine that she references in Cruel Summer, or they go as a crumpled up piece of paper like in All Too Well, or they go in one of her looks. And then the next thing to do is just find your seat and have fun. It's 3.5 hours.
What is your favorite outfit in the Eras Tour? Mine are the Tortured Poets Department and the 22 outfit.
Oh, the 22 outfit is so good. I really hope also, if you're there, maybe Taylor Nation gets to see you and you can get the 22 hat, which you know goes to one fan every single night. My favorite outfit, though, to watch is definitely the 1989 set, what colors she's gonna wear, if they're gonna be the same colors. What we saw in North America, she also has been mixing up the shoes. So one night in New Orleans, she wore Mardi Gras colors of purple, yellow, and then green shoes. And that was really neat to see. So I always love 1989. And especially because if you know her song Out of the Woods, she has a line that says, "The rest of the world was black and white, but we were in screaming color." And if you look during the 1989 set, all of her cast and crew are black and white, and she is in screaming color.
That's really interesting. Anything Swifties like me can look forward to over the holiday season? Maybe a new album or a Taylor's version release?
So we're always clowning every show for Taylor to make a surprise announcement. I have always thought that Reputation might be announced on the last night or near the very end, just because it's what everyone is so excited to see. Taylor does love to tease or hint at things. We saw that in the third night in London, she did I Did Something Bad, which is a song off Reputation. And that got fans really excited, saying she's gonna announce Reputation at the end of London, but she didn't. And then the very first night in Miami, she wore a brand new gold bodysuit that had golden snakes. And a lot of fans were thinking maybe in Florida she was gonna announce Reputation, but I think that's what most fans are excited for, is when she's gonna announce that. And I'm clowning for the very last night.
Do you think Taylor will have another tour soon?
I don't know if soon, but I hope so. What I'm interested to see is this has been such a production-based tour, Ella. So I'm wondering if her next tour, she would do something different, similar to her eras. Would she strip everything down and do an acoustic tour? Would she do maybe a residency? Or would she have everybody go to one place? Maybe she does like a Taychella or a Comic-Con type of thing where everybody during the summer goes to a specific area and they all congregate there. So I do think she'll be on tour again. The question is when and what will it look like?
What era do you think it will be in? Or do you think it will be a new era?
So next year, I think if she keeps up with her current schedule of doing 2 re-records, 1 new project, we'll get the last 2 re-records. If she does do a new project for TS12, which is Taylor Swift's 12th album, I'm hoping it's maybe more of a rock album or a pop rock album. So we'll just have to wait and see what she has in store. But she's always writing, and her team has been telling some news outlets the past year that she's working on new music. So I know, like you, I'm excited to hear some new music.
What message do you have to other Swifties who are sad to see the Eras Tour end?
This is a chapter in Taylor's life, and although it is sad that it's coming to an end, she's always working on something new. So Taylor used to say whenever she would get sad, she would set a date sometime in the future and start a countdown clock. So I would say hopefully by the end of this tour, we'll know when the new album's coming out, maybe a new documentary, maybe a new show, and we can start a countdown clock for something to look forward to.
Thank you, Brian. I loved having an interview with you.
Thank you so much, Ellie. You're so good.
Ella and Brian, thanks very much. Finally, there's a free youth-based program here in New York City that has one goal in mind: to get kids moving. Let's get more from our friend Rahema Ellis.
For many of these kids, running is more than just for exercise.
What I like mostly about it is that you get a chance just to have fun and just run. And like it just takes away all the things that's going around you and just give you like some me time basically.
Rising New York Roadrunners is a free running-based youth program bringing together kids from New York City and around the country to participate in events in person and virtually. Kids range in age from pre-K through 12th grade. The goal, to get kids moving.
And that's a huge part of what we at New York Roadrunners do to help accomplish our mission of creating healthier lives and stronger communities through the transformative power of running.
And one way the free program is transforming communities is by helping kids literally get on their feet.
Our partners at New Balance have donated over 40,000 shoes that we've been able to give away to kids from more than 1,000 schools around the United States. And this is part of how we get kids active and moving at an early age.
Since 2017, New York Roadrunners and New Balance have distributed thousands of free sneakers to students across New York City.
When a kid like these kids today gets a brand new pair of running shoes, it makes them not only happy, but it makes them more excited about running, about moving.
Helping instill the power of running and how to create a healthy life from a young age.
You're also doing it with your friends, so it's good to communicate and just bond with your friends while running.
Rahema, thanks very much. Well, that is going to do it for us. Parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com, and we'll try to answer them in an upcoming episode. You can also follow us on Instagram at NightlyKids. Thank you for watching, and remember to take care of yourself and each other. So long.